Hi friends! This is Dainty Tank. Ow. Oh, I'm sorry. I did journaling yesterday and yeah, no, snapping hurts. Here. There we go. New Dainty Tank thing. Hi. It's your friend, Dainty Tank. Doing Dainty Tank things. Totally not avoiding snapping because that hurts apparently. Anyways, hi. Welcome back to Highway Blossoms. Part 5, 7, 8. Watch it be part 6. Just watch it. It'll be like part 6 and I'll be sitting there like 8. And editing Dainty Tank's gonna be like, what the did you ever? Why can't you just? And the answer is, I don't think about it. I don't think about consequences. I really don't. You know, that's why I was like, hey, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. And so I did. You know why? Because ultimately, this is what I want to do. I want to be here. I want to hang out with you. And I want to do stuff that's fun. So, hi. That's why I do this. So subscribe so you can hang out and validate my non-consequential ways of thinking. I'm really lucky that the Dainty Wife actually acts as my executive function in so many ways. And you too can have an awesome Dainty Wife for the low price of searching. It took me a lot of time to find mine. So, I have no good ways of giving you advice on dating. So, that was awkward. Speaking of awkward dating, Amber and Marina had a moment. Marina was definitely trying to flirt. Amber tried to flirt back, and had Mariah and crew not shown up, they probably would have kissed at sunset at the Grand Canyon, which would have been cool, but instead, meh. And then they were told to go to Arches, Utah, so that's where we're going. Load the game. Alright. We ended up spending the night in a department store parking lot. There were plenty of rest stops, but those are off the table. Permanently. Why? Like usual, I woke up pretty early and got us on the road again. Even after waking up briefly, Marina passed back out until we were already in Moab. Moab's the quintessential outdoorsy town. It's built alongside the Colorado River, winding through a canyon. Every other store sells rafting supplies or hiking gear or camping equipment. Oh, I just put 2 and 2 together and equaled 5 because it can't have the rest stops because rest stops have all of the people in it. That makes sense. Even some of the houses are made to look like log cabins and other rustic architecture. You can see tall forested mountains from any part of town, but it's not entirely out of the desert either. It's the time of morning where most people are on their way to work. There's a disgustingly large amount of traffic. It's obvious why. Shovels and pickaxes stuck out of truck beds and cracked windows like porcupine quills. At a glance, I say 3/4 of the people contributing to our glacial pace are prospectors, which means I don't have any room to complain. After watching the next light change 3 times, but still not reaching it myself, I sigh and pull into a nearby diner. At first, I was just planning to grab some coffee and a bagel and something for when Marina wakes up. But with her trademark perfect timing, I hear her climb out of the bed right as I turn off the RV.
We there? Is this Arches?
She stumbles up to the front, still looking mostly asleep. I don't know how she can still be tired. She must have gotten 10 hours.
Close. We're in Moab. Arches is still a few miles up the road.
Yeah, it's close.
Oh. Why'd we stop?
'Cause I'm hungry. And traffic's practically stalled. It could be lunchtime before we get there.
You were just gonna eat without me?
Even through her grogginess, she sounds shocked and offended.
I was gonna grab you something to go, but I will eat without you if you don't get ready fast.
That's one way to speed her up.
Meanie.
Oh.
Yeah. Complain about me once you're dressed.
I can see the start of a smile as she turns back to get ready. I inspect my nails while I wait. A few minutes later, and she hops up front like an Easter bunny, chipper as ever.
It's like your energy is stored in your outfit or something. You get dressed and wake right up.
Marina puts on airs.
I don't know what you mean. I'm always cheerful and alert.
Uh-huh. Did you know that you snore?
Oh. Her pretense is dropped in a flash.
Do not.
Oh.
You do.
I lead the way out of the RV.
Loud. Like an elephant seal.
Marina blusters about for a retort while I just wait by the door laughing. She makes a humph noise as she passes by me, crossing the parking lot. Still, she holds the door for me as we go into the diner. There's a seat yourself sign up front, along with a stack of menus. I grab 2 from off the top.
Do you need a kid's menu? With the crayons?
Crowns. Crowns? Crowns. Crowns. Right? Okay, anyways. Yes, please, I would love it. Then I could play with all the crowns. Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want the kids menu? That sounds awesome. I'm just teasing her more, but her face lights up.
Ooh, they have those? Yeah, give me one.
Yes, thank you, Marina. Ah! Mentally face palming, I also take a coloring sheet and cup of crowns. We find a booth by the window near the middle of the restaurant, between a family of 4 and a couple around our age. It might be the only empty spot in the whole place. I look over the breakfast specials. Marina eagerly begins to color. She's got dark green and 2 shades of red, a blue, and a yellow crayon. Of course, they're worn down to be practically round on the bottoms, which makes it hard for her to stay within the lines. When I shift my legs, I accidentally bump the table with my foot and cause her to make a large green streak across the personified inks she was coloring.
Oops, sorry.
It's okay. What is it they say? There are no mistakes in art, just happy accidents?
Happy little trees.
Something like that. Why green?
Do you not see what I'm coloring here? Sam I Amber?
Green eggs and ham. I groan aloud from her awful joke. I'm saved from more of them by the arrival of the same waitress who greeted us. Her white uniform is stained with jelly and ketchup and who knows what else.
Can I get you girls something to drink?
I'll have some chocolate milk, please.
Her already questionable maturity suffers another blow. With the crowns in hand, I'm not sure it can stand to take any more hits.
And for you?
Just coffee. No cream or sugar.
You got it.
When she walks away, I nudge Marina with my foot.
Chocolate milk? Seriously? Are you 8?
Okay, one of my best friends has quite the tooth for that. And so for his bachelor party, me and his friends got together and surprised him at brunch. And we got him the kids menu, the crowns, and chocolate milk. He loved them all. And we had a grand old time that day. So, yeah. Overall, I think it's a win. Mimicking my voice, Marina shakes her shoulders.
Black coffee? Seriously? Are you 40?
Oh! She got you.
Hey now, I like the taste of coffee itself.
That's a lie. You get used to the acidity.
And I like the taste of milk itself, just with chocolate.
You're a dork.
But you love me.
Oh, are you gonna blush? She chimes back in a sing-song voice. I know what she means, but it still causes a little lump to form in my throat. I swallow, trying to pretend that she didn't hit a little close to home. I watch her while she goes back to coloring human breakfast hybrids. Her lips are pursed in concentration. There's a little gleam of white as she bites the edge of one. Seems she's really focused. Surprisingly, she still mostly manages to stay within the lines of the pictures. I mean, she's an adult. She can do that. Those are fairly thick lines. Rather than trying to use the dull tips, she switched to the flat, round ends, using the edge for more precision. It's kind of working. Without looking up, she starts to chat again.
So, where do we start looking today, Captain?
Oh, you finally acknowledge me as captain then, huh?
Ha.
I figured you deserve a turn. Just this once.
Aww.
Thanks. I'll try not to let you down.
You guys are flirting so hard.
Anyway, I have no idea.
You said you think it's by one of the arches, right?
Well, yeah, but that doesn't really narrow it down.
Pausing her coloring, she looks up at me.
It doesn't?
Nah. Have you ever seen any pictures of the park?
A couple, I guess. I don't know much about it, though.
Well, they named the park after the arches since there were so many of them. Probably hundreds.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, some are more famous than others. Let's see. There's Windstone Arch and Double Arch. Those are some of the more famous ones. You've probably seen pictures of those, even if you don't know it. But there are a ton of lesser-known ones, too. And for all we know, the treasure could be at one of them that doesn't even have a name.
So we're screwed.
Kinda.
Probably. But that doesn't mean we're giving up.
Marina nods in satisfaction, either at my words or the slice of blue ham she just finished coloring.
I don't want to lose twice in a row, so I figure we'll go and look around and see if there are any clues. Maybe watch what other people are doing and thinking.
Marina nods along, but she is zoned out. She has a zoned out look. Tells me she's not really listening. Rather, she seems to be staring past me. I turn, trying to figure out what she might be attracting her attention. There's nothing except for other groups eating. Make awkward eye contact with an old lady right beside us, and I quickly face forward.
Hello? Inspecting the walls?
My words seem to break the spell.
Huh?
She's probably just thinking.
You totally spaced out there.
Oops, yeah. Sorry, I just started thinking.
Before I can ask her what about, our waitress returns. Our drinks are balanced on a tray alongside a few other guests. Marina's chocolate milk comes in an enormous tin cup that's the size of my forearm. There's an entire pot of coffee for me. She sets them down on the table between us.
You girls ready to order?
Whoops, I haven't even looked through the menu once. Flip through real quick, settling a standard meal.
You good?
Marina nods.
I'll have the gentleman's breakfast with bacon, eggs over medium, and sourdough toast.
Honestly, that sounds awesome. Bacon and eggs with toast. I'm actually gluten intolerant and allergic to corn, which makes toast kind of like a no-go situation for me, which is sad because that's a good, like, hearty breakfast. But that's okay. I can't even have grits anymore. From the south, and I can't have grits. I know. Hurts my soul too. But it's okay.
And for you?
I'll have the chocolate chip pancake platter with scrambled eggs.
Sweet. Okay, the big thing for me, though, is that I swap out hash browns for any sort of bread product. That way I get my carb, I got my meat, greasy meat, and my protein eggs, and it's all good.
You want the kids' meal or the regular?
Oh, sweetheart. I choke on my drink as I laugh and feel Marina's foot crush against my leg, whimpering at that, and the dribble of coffee on my chin. I massage my shin underneath the table. Marina frowns at me and the waitress gives me a strange look. Then the typical angelic expression returns as Marina places her order.
The regular, please and thanks.
We'll have that out for you pretty soon.
Once again, she heads back to the kitchen, heels clicking on the tile floor. When she's out of sight, Marina begins a flurry of kicks to my shins, though these ones aren't hard enough to hurt. Scurrying backwards to my seat, I draw my legs up close to me.
Rude! Rude, rude, rude!
Come on. You were asking for it with the food and the milk. The waitress asking that was just the icing on the cake. The pancake.
It's not my fault you sophisticated adults don't appreciate chocolate like I do.
Fair.
You have a bigger sweet tooth than anyone I've ever met. Seriously, how many cavities have you had?
Oh. It's a low blow.
None. I brush my teeth twice a day, every day. The last time I went to the dentist, he said my teeth were so shiny he could see his reflection in them.
And when was that?
She thinks about it for a minute.
Maybe 3 years?
That doesn't count anymore then.
When was the last time you had chocolate milk?
Now I have to think about that. I don't drink a whole lot of milk to commit. Trying again. I don't drink a whole lot of milk to begin with. And as for chocolate...
Maybe when I was a little kid? I don't know.
Amber, you poor, poor thing.
She slides her giant cup towards me, some sloshing over the sides in her face.
Try it.
Dredges of milk surround the rim of the chocolate. I can read, I promise. Dredges of milk surround the rim of the cup from Marina's sipping. Across from me, she waits, looking eager. I'm surprised she's not bouncing like normal. After sighing exaggeratedly, I pick up the cup and down a large gulp. I can read. Oh my goodness, take a second. Ooh. I'm just pausing for a second, give myself time. After sighing exaggeratedly, I picked up the cup and down a large gulp, trying not to think silly cliche thoughts about indirect kisses. There we go. You had to have at least one, like, indirect kiss type of situation, or else it's not Yuri. To my surprise, the drink is really good. It's got a deeper, rich flavor than the stuff you get in the jugs at the store. I can tell that they made it themselves in the kitchen. It's not overwhelmingly sweet. In fact, it's perfect. Damn. Didn't know if I'm disappointed or not, giving her the satisfaction of being right. My pride aches. So push the cup back towards Marina. She receives it with a sly smirk.
So?
She draws out the word, already knowing my answer.
It wasn't bad.
There we go. That's all I'm willing to concede. She laughs and takes another huge sip. After setting the cup down, she has a thick milk mustache on her upper lip. I watch with inappropriate fascination as her tongue comes out and cleans it away. Oh my god, Amber, you're so thirsty. Marina grabs the sheet she was coloring and then pushes that over to me as well.
Wanna color something? While you're acting like a kid and all.
I roll my eyes but snatch away the crowns that she offers. Most of the pictures, all of them breakfast foods with faces and dated outfits, have already been colored in. There's a stylish looking piece of bread with a dress and a wig that's still blank though, and I colored the dress with a green crown as lightly as I can and use the lighter shade of red for the hair. Oh my god, when I'm done, hold up the page to show Marina.
It's you.
She leans in.
Huh?
The colors. Look, you're toast.
She collapses back as if my pun physically wounded her. She shakes her head, looks down while I crack up.
That was even worse than Mariah and Amber.
Uh-huh. You better step up your game some.
Oh!
Please, stop.
I don't plan to. The only thing that saves her is the arrival of our waitress right then. That's pretty fast service, considering how busy this place is. Keeping in style with our oversized beverages, the portions are enormous. Woo! The plate that Marina's pancakes are served on is so large it looks like it could have been used on the shield back in medieval times. And the pancakes form a tower that's probably half a foot tall. Woohoo! My meal arrives in a similarly gigantic plate. We have to scramble and move our drinks around just to make room. There's hardly any empty space.
Can I get you girls anything else?
Marina shakes her head, but I look down at the table as I mumble.
Can I get a glass of chocolate milk, please?
As the waitress departs yet again, I glance over prepared for the inevitable teasing, but instead, Marina just stares at her food, dumbstruck.
Maybe I should have gotten the kid size.
This is cute. I finished about half of my meal before the dismay sets in. There's no way I could possibly finish this. Most people I know couldn't eat this much food in one sitting. Every bite is a struggle. Marina's faring similarly. Her plate of eggs is nearly untouched just because there's so much pancake to work through. And I can tell the pancake fatigue, the feeling when you're halfway through them and then realize you're sick of pancakes, has long since set in for her. Oh no. She cuts off a bite, looks at it for a while, and then sets down her fork. You can have to-go boxes. Oh, lovelies.
I think I'm done.
Yeah, you and me both.
The largest plate I have consists of a mess of potatoes, cheese, and bacon with the eggs laid over it. And then, of course, there was toast, fruit, and sausage, which each had their own smaller plate. I'd have ordered from the kids' menu too if I'd known this was how much it would be. Get a couple meals out of it, like maybe 3. Like, this to me sounds awesome. I love diner food. Love diner food because I can eat most of it. It's like protein and carbs, and if you tell them, hey, I've got allergies, they can cook it on a different surface and, you know, not kill you, which is really nice of them. So, I mean, one of my favorite places ever, Waho. I love Waho. They don't have those up here. Makes me sad.
I don't think I'll ever want pancakes again.
False. For once, I don't have any snarky remarks. Anyone would be sick of them after what she just went through.
We'll get some boxes to go. At least we'll have food for a week now if we ever get stranded.
Facts. After our waitress brings us our bill and styrofoam containers, we head back to the RV. It looks like traffic hasn't gotten much better in the 45 minutes that we've been out of it. Cars are still pressed bumper to bumper. Sidewalks are also filled with swarms of pedestrians making better time than the traffic. I wonder if it's always this busy or if people are just deciding not to drive. Once we're ready to go, I take us to the edge of the parking lot. As expected, the constant stream of cars makes it impossible for us to get out. I watch impatiently for an opening in traffic, but can't see one for miles.
Oh, come on!
Press my forehead to the steering wheel. We've been sitting here for minutes now.
Is there another exit we could use? Onto a different street?
I look and check my mirrors, but don't see anything. The edges of the diner's property are surrounded by cream-colored fence.
Nope.
Marina begins to sigh, but then quickly turns into a sound of surprise.
Amber, look!
She points past me and out the window. An elderly lady in a little hatchback sedan has stopped to let us out. 2 of us wave at her as we finally lumber onto the road itself.
Yay! I'm glad somebody was nice at least.
Yeah. Still a long way to go, though.
Yeah, and it's so stressful and bumper to bumper. The long line of cars extends as far as I can see before it finally goes out of sight out of sight around a bend in the road.
Why do you think it's so much busier here than the other places we've been?
Arches is one of the most popular national parks. Like, when you think of parks in the US, you think of Arches and the Grand Canyon and Yosemite, that kind of thing. So I think a lot of people will be at those big spots.
Think it'll be like Shiprock again?
Oh, didn't mean to do that.
What, with the megaphone and law enforcement? Maybe. Probably not. These parks are a lot bigger and more spread out. Way harder to have people watching. The only option would to be straight up close.
And then you have horrible people who sneak in and out of bounds anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Who would ever do that?
Nobody we know, that's for sure.
It's okay. Once we're filthy rich, we can make a donation to the canyon or something.
Let's just buy the canyon and pay to have everything reconstructed.
Perfect.
It takes a while, but we finally make it past all the stoplights. After that, it's still slow going, but at least it's steady. Maybe 15 minutes pass crawling through the town before things start to pick up. Still a couple miles away, I can finally see the exit to the park itself. Some people continue past, staying on the highway, but most are in line for Arches. At least there's a whole lane for people like us. Traffic is congested like a nose in winter, but the end is in sight.
May as well get comfy. We're gonna be here a while.
Taking my advice, Marina leans back and props her feet up on the dash. Her dress bunches up by her knees, leaving most of her legs exposed. I sneak a few guilty glances from the corner of my eye. If I didn't know better, I'd think that all the skin she shows was intentional, but it's Marina, which means she's not even conscious about this stuff. I mean, as that's fair, she is just kicking her feet up. Or me, for that matter. I wonder if she knows that I'm into her. I think so. I think you're the one who's slow in seeing that she's into you. To distract myself, I grabbed the box of tapes. I kept the music off earlier so that Marina could sleep.
Wanna pick this time?
Sure.
Setting it into her lap, she begins to rummage through the bin. Pretty sure she knows all the music I have by now. We've listened to every tape at least once, and I have an okay feel for what she likes and what she doesn't. Sometimes she taps her fingers to the beat and hums along when she likes what we're listening to. If she doesn't, she flat out ignores it. The one she settled on is an album of instrumental folk songs, very stereotypical Western sounding. It's a little high energy for just sitting still in traffic, but that's alright. It's better than nothing. We just listen to music, which I've cranked up loud while we wait. The album is nearly half over by the time we finally make it through the park gates. Hey. Beyond the traffic mercifully lets up some. Not because there are fewer cars. There are more cars than rocks to be seen. But a lot of those are pulled off to the shoulder or cramped into the parking lots. Nearly every inch of pavement that doesn't have a car on it has a person instead. Also, there are different trails and forks in the road, so not everyone is going in the same direction now. Being able to drive without having to tap the brakes every couple of seconds is a relief. A pickup truck towing a trailer pulls off the shoulder ahead and back onto the road, so I take his spot. Putting it in park, take a swig of stone cold coffee. Wanna
grab the pamphlets?
We snagged a couple of brochures back at the diner. They don't have a whole lot of info, but they're a starting point. Yeah. Marina retrieves them and spreads them out on the table like puzzle pieces. Alongside them is the journal. Its spine has lost all strength and the pages just flop around.
So, the journal says that it's buried between two things.
There's a lot of two things.
Right, but something out of the way.
Peering out of the windshield and to the expanses beyond, there's a lot that could be considered out of the way. Oh, not with the right hand. Oh, ouch. Okay. Out of the way. Sorry. Hit me.
It'd have to be something memorable, or else he'd come back and have no idea where to go.
And anything memorable is probably gonna be something popular, right?
Exactly, yeah.
She flips through some of the pamphlets. They all have the same information on the same landmarks, just with slightly different pictures.
Wait.
She's about to toss one of them, but it catches my eye.
Hand me that.
Marina passes over the brochure and I turn to one of the inner pages. It was only one picture and a longer paragraph of text. I read aloud.
One of the most famous landmarks in all of the park, Double Arch is a fan favorite. Recognizable for its two elegant curves. Double Arch can be accessed via a short hike and is open to exploration.
I hold up the flyer so she can see the picture. It's of two huge arches of stone connected at one side, but otherwise perpendicular from each other. She snatches it out of my hands for a closer look, nearly cutting my fingers.
Oh my god, you think it's between the two of these?
That makes sense, right? You definitely remember how it looks, and it's kind of out of the way.
Fair. The paper whizzes past my face as Marina holds them backwards and she points forward.
Choo-choo, full steam ahead!
I throw the RV back in the drive and pull out onto the road again. There are signs everywhere for Double Arch, so we don't need the map that we got at the gate. Past signs for other landmarks too, some with pretty wild names. It's a parade of elephants for one thing, which is in the same direction as Hamrock. There's even a phallic sounding rock simply called the Organ. All of those are down exits we don't take. Instead, we soon end up at the back of yet another traffic jam. Marina stares out the window as we creep along. Where we are right now is nearly indistinguishable from the highways we spent so much time on. There are a few actual arches around, but none distinct enough to get any real attention. Inch by inch, we advance down the road until we finally come to a parking lot for Double Arch. The only problem is, it's totally full. Not just busy, but packed. Every parking spot is taken with a few cars jammed into an empty space that's clearly not meant for that. Like lice, people swarm up and down the arch itself, visibly even from the road. At least this time it isn't off limits.
Looks like everyone else had the same idea.
Don't sound so glum. We can still go take a look.
If we can ever find somewhere to park.
Yeah, that is a pretty big if.
The entire caravan passes by the parking lot. There's at least a dozen cars behind me, too. Maybe a half mile up the road, we come across another lot.
Up for a bit of walking?
Yeah!
I quickly take one of the remaining spaces. There are a few openings here. Looks like most people weren't willing to walk as Marina is. Some of the cars behind us pull into. Hey! We opt to leave the metal detector and other equipment in the RV for now. If we see anything that looks promising, we could come back and grab it. Hold on. Do you still have Mariah's metal detector? I don't think that's fair. It was lent to you. You should have given that back. The walk back up to Double Arch doesn't take long, and it's nice to be outdoors again. We have to stick to the very edge of the road to avoid the stream of cars flowing towards us. It seems like there are more than a dozen behind us after all. There's a short hike from the Double Arch parking lot to the arch itself. It's an easy one. We don't even break a sweat. Up close, it's obvious that there aren't many people here just to see the sights. Almost everyone is carrying a shovel or other tool. There's a pair of park rangers watching, but they don't seem to be intervening at all. They just slouch against a wooden fence, looking defeated. Yeah, I don't blame them. Oh.
Can you imagine how big of celebrities we'd be if anyone here knew we found this shipwrecked treasure?
I whisper as quietly as I can to Marina.
Right? I was thinking about that earlier. I kind of wanted to show off, but that's probably not a good idea.
Not one bit.
Like anyone would believe us anyway. But you don't want to have your face all over the New York Times as one of the girls who found the treasure?
Being in the local newspaper is on my bucket list.
You wouldn't be on the local one, dearest. Dream big, Marina.
And my friends from school would totally have a heart attack when they found out. But don't they always say to keep it a secret if you win the lottery?
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, people will never leave you alone. You'll get all sorts of messages from people you used to know or long-lost relatives.
I have enough not-lost relatives to deal with.
Oh.
Plus, I don't want to get kidnapped and held for ransom or something like that.
I mean, fair.
What about you?
No way. I'm just gonna quietly retreat into one of my 3 mansions when all this is over.
Oh, you're only gonna buy 3?
Yeah, gotta save the rest for my 14 new motorhomes after all.
She giggles.
Do I get to drive one of them?
Why not? But you could buy your own, you know.
No way! I'll just come bother you if I need one.
We've gotten as close as to the arches as we can. The mob of sweaty people is too thick for us to push our way through. There are dozens of people sweeping over the dusty ground with metal detectors. Hanging back around the edge, Marina's smile quickly fades.
Yeah, this is a bit of a mess.
People jostle and push each other out of the way. It's hard to believe anyone is actually prospecting so much as they are just trying not to lose their spot.
Maybe we should come back later?
I don't know if it'll be any better later, but maybe.
I guess. Though if the treasure is here, I feel like someone would have found it by now.
I mean, that's fair. Just like back at Kenyon did Shelley.
You know, this must have been going on for a few days now.
Yeah.
All of the enthusiasm she had a minute ago when she was joking around has evaporated in the desert sun. A rock skips past my foot as she kicks at the dirt. I poke her, and she yelps in surprise.
Hey now, I'm not saying we give up. I'm just saying we regroup and strategize. We can go see the rest of the park in the meantime. Didn't you say you've wanted to see this place for a while?
Yeah, I guess.
It's obvious that she's still bummed, but there's nothing I can do about that. Once we're back in the motorhome, we leave the main road ASAP and spend a while seeing the sights from our air-conditioned comfort. Marina's mood improves steadily throughout the day, counteracted only by our growing hunger. As we pull back into Moab, we're both ravenous.
Wanna just heat up our leftovers? Guessing that's a no.
I'm not ready for pancakes again yet. I need a day or maybe a week.
Let me know if you see somewhere you want me to stop.
Now that it's approaching evening, there aren't any more massive traffic jams going through Moab. We can cruise through at a steady pace, just like when we first got into Arches. Until I slam on the brakes.
You're kidding me.
Marina had been slouching, but bolts upright as sudden stop.
What happened?
Just a few feet ahead, in the parking lot at the diner we ate this morning, is Mariah's motorhome.
Look at that. It's them.
Well, I mean, you told them how to get here. I point, and Marina leans forward. She recognizes their RV. She grins.
Should we go see them?
What? No way! That's extra reason to avoid that place.
But Amber, maybe we could see about teaming up for the treasure here or something.
That'd never happen. Mariah would rather lose every time than have our help. Besides, it's not like...
Please.
Already giving up in my head, I give Marina one last desperate look.
Seriously.
Yeah, even if we don't team up, it'd be nice to see them again.
Okay.
Not sure if nice is the word I'd use.
Despite my muttering, I flick on my blinker and change lanes, pulling into the parking lot yet again. Like this morning, it seems pretty busy. I have to park next to Mariah's RV because it's the only open spot large enough. Okay. I really hope they hid the treasure that they found better than just leaving it in the RV, like hiding it somewhere, because my thought is Mariah and her crew are going to break into the RV and steal the gold. Marina skips out and towards the entrance while I trudge behind her. Doesn't take long to find the trio, even amongst all the eccentric people that the hunt has drawn. Their questionable fashion sense stands out. They have a large table near the back, bigger than the one Marina and I ate at this morning. Joseph and Tess share a bench, while Mariah is spread across the opposite side. It's probably supposed to look sultry, but it comes across more like the bench is devouring her. Okay. When she sees them, Marina scuttles to the back, hand raised in greeting. I bring up the rear, still slow.
Hey, guys!
Tess and Joseph both wave, the latter smiling as he sees us. Mariah looks surprised for a second and then scowls and turns towards the wall. The feeling is mutual.
Hey, imagine running into you two here. Just get into town?
Nope, we've been here all day. We actually ate breakfast at this place this morning.
Yeah, you're always a couple steps behind us, I guess.
Mariah's glare is stonier than the double arch itself, but of course she keeps looking at the wall instead of us. Joseph laughs.
Here, let's break bread.
He and Tess scooch down the booth, making some room, which Marina promptly fills. I'm left next to the smoldering fury that is Mariah. She moves her leg just a little, but enough for me to sit down.
Thanks. Sorry to barge in on you guys like this.
Okay.
It's no problem. More the merrier.
I hope you don't expect us to cover your bill.
Groaning Joe puts his hands over Tessa's ears.
Could you at least try not to be a pain in the ass between the hours of 5 p.m. and 6 in the morning? It would make my life a lot easier.
He uncovers Tessa's ears and gives us a blank look.
She's right, though. There's no way we can afford that.
We had to dine and dash for breakfast.
Oh.
So what about you? How long have you been here?
We got in around lunchtime. Spent forever and a half stuck in traffic, though.
He sounds worn out. I wonder if Mariah ever lets him drive. Or makes him.
Us too. We were gonna look around Double Arch, but it was too busy.
Yeah, we took one look at it and just kept driving. Didn't even want to try it.
Sis said anyone who bothered to get out was a
You weren't supposed to hear that!
I told you, this girl hears everything. Anyway, we were thinking about heading back this evening. See if it maybe cleared out some.
We were gonna do that too. I was telling Amber that we should see if maybe you guys wanted to team up and we could look together.
Oh.
Hell no!
Two of us look at each other. Seems like we all agree on is not sticking together.
No offense to you, Joe. Just didn't wanna, you know.
I trail off, trying to think of an excuse that didn't want to deal with Mariah, which is the truth. But Joseph just laughs and waves it off.
Nah, I get what you mean. Don't think Mariah would be too fond of splitting the goods either.
Marina frowns, but perks back up after just a second. Soon the waitress comes to take our order. Marina and I are careful to order meals on the smaller side, just sandwiches with fries. On the other hand, Mariah's order comes with a bunch of requirements as to what can and can't be on it. Ugh. By the time she's made so many substitutions and extras, it hardly resembles the item described on the menu.
So, I can tell you ladies that it's not at the Parade of Elephants, and Delicate Arch was a no-go too. Think we might try Skyline next.
Good luck, I guess. I wonder how many of those the miner would have known about, though. Pretty sure this park wasn't founded till after the gold rush.
Joseph shrugs.
Amber knows a lot about these places. She's like an encyclopedia.
I can feel my face flush, like always, when she praises me.
Not really. I just know bits and pieces.
Still, something to be proud of. Aren't too many girls your age who care about anything that happened more than 5 years ago.
There's a lot of girls who actually enjoy things like history and English, literature, ancient Greece. We're gonna keep moving.
It's really nothing special. I just spent a lot of time on the road when I was younger.
That's so.
I appreciate his leaving it as an open-ended question rather than prying. Marina looks at me, eyes wide, probably see if I'm going to cry or something. I try to be nonchalant.
Yeah, until I was in middle school. My grandpa used to drive me all over the country.
Sounds like a fun time.
It was.
There's no point in hiding it. Plus, Joseph has that kind of disarming air to him, like he exudes calmness.
Passed away a little while ago. Still a little.
I tap my throat, hoping that it gets my point across. It does. Joseph nods.
I'm sorry for your loss. I know how hard that can be.
Thanks.
Marina's eyes flick between me and Joseph. She must be pretty worried. So I force a smile, even though I can feel that growing glumness that shows up every time I talk about my Gramps.
Meeting this dork has helped a lot, though.
Oh. Jerk my chin towards Marina, who looks shocked, as if I could have been talking about anyone else.
It's been a while moping around before that.
Family is good.
Oh, thank you, creepy child. I blink. It's so easy to forget she's there.
Yeah, definitely.
I hadn't really thought of it before, but Tess seems to be in a similar situation I was, growing up on the go and all. I'm curious how it happened, but I won't ask. Not my place. Far off look seeps into Joe's face, stares out the window like he's gazing on at something 100 yards away. Mariah glances up at him, for a split second, if that. She even looks a little concerned, but then it's right back to business as usual. She leers over at me and shoves herself back into the conversation.
So what are you going to do?
Huh?
When all this is over?
She gestures around.
Dinner?
No, dumbass! I meant the treasure hunt! Forget it. I don't actually care.
Oh my god.
Don't know yet. Mare and I have been kind of talking about that.
Mare? Aw?
She's gonna buy 3 mansions.
Yeah, that. I'll have plenty of time to figure stuff out in my mansions.
3 of us chuckle, but then the conversation trails off. Tess and Marina are working on coloring Tess's menu. From what I can see, it's different characters from the one this morning. They look like they make a good team. Each of them work on separate pictures, but switch from time to time. Some Marinas will color the hair on one character, then Tess colors the clothes. Despite not talking at all, they don't even get in each other's way. Joseph also observes from above, smiling slightly. He's usually the one to play with Tess, so it must be nice for her to have some company. On the other hand, like a jug of milk, Mariah's mood seems to get more and more sour. Don't even know what she's mad about this time. Maybe something happened before we showed up, or maybe it's because we showed up. Either way, she ought to have memorized every single detail of the wall she's been staring at this entire time. She doesn't look up until our food arrives a little bit later. Oh goodness. Is that steak? from a diner. It's a good thing we have a large table because there's still hardly any room left once all the plates are set down. My sandwich is so big, it takes 2 hands to hold, and I have enough fries that says Stain Ireland for the winner. When Marina picks up her sandwich, all the ingredients pour out the back. She quickly gives up trying to reconstruct it and just uses a fork and knife instead. Watching the other 3 eat is amusing too. Joseph chews with slow, measured bites, whereas Marina attacks her meal like it owes her money. Across from her, Tessa is cutting up chicken tenders with surgical precision. Marina catches me staring and smiles at me covertly. Seems she's noticed too. Mariah's the first one to finish eating. Just a couple bites behind. That's embarrassing. She wipes her face with a napkin and finally looks at me.
Where are you two staying?
It could be an innocent question, or it could be a trap.
Around. We'll find a parking lot somewhere.
You thieves are gonna have a late start then.
Oh?
I guess. Don't tell me you planned ahead and got a campsite.
Don't be stupid. Of course not.
Oh?
Like, that's not what I meant.
I scoff. She backtracks to keep from insulting herself.
What I mean is, there's no way they're gonna bother checking every single permit. There's too much going on right now.
Oh, you underestimate. It's someone's job to check every single permit.
Just pick a nice spot out of the way, don't make trouble, and it'll be fine.
Joe flatly stares at Mariah.
Easier said than done.
Good luck with that. I don't want to take the risk.
On foot, if you're trespassing and get caught, most time you'll just get thrown out. But if you want our license plate getting written down or something, if you were to do what she suggests. Mariah shrugs.
Suit yourself. Don't say I didn't never try to help you.
Didn't ever.
There we go.
You ever camp here before, Amber? Sounded like you know the place.
Long time ago. I don't remember a whole lot. Just good at remembering names, I guess.
Useful skill to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Used to be before we'd go anywhere. Gramps and I would research the place we were going. History and stuff like that.
You sure learned a lot of useful stuff from him, huh?
Yep. Always wanted to make him proud. He used to say I was a real chip off the...
My words catch in my throat. Not because I'm emotional, because I realized something. Remembered it, rather. Mariah and Joe know it too. Mine and Mariah's eyes lock, but she bolts up at my words. The other two look confused.
We're leaving!
Oh my god. Mariah sprints for the door without paying and nearly yank Marina's arm out of its socket as we run to the exit. Other diners turn to watch us, but I barely notice them.
Amber, what the heck?
Her voice is shaky from being jolted around.
I know where the treasure is.
I yell behind me as I turn to look and see the trio exit the diner close behind us. Joe's carrying Tess on his back.
I know where it is.
Oh. Say it again to assure myself. We reached the motorhome seconds after Mariah and her crew reach theirs. Practically haul Marina up and into her spot before I leap into my own. Not even bothering to buckle up, I hurry towards the road. Oh my goodness! Less than a minute and we're already falling behind. I watch Maria's taillights as she speeds up the road, horns blaring to scare away the cars, and fortunate enough to be in her lane. Oh my god. Going as fast as I dare to, worried about cops that could be lurking around one of the bends in the road. But I can't let her out of my sights. There's no room to pass yet, but I have to watch for an opportunity. With one hand, Marina clutches the headrest bar of her seat. Then she leans back past my face, nearly causing me to swerve from shock.
What are you...
She grabs my seatbelt and buckles me in. Then she does the same for herself.
Hey, now that we're at least not gonna die if you hit something, can you tell me what exactly is happening?
She sounds like a little frantic, a little curious.
Okay, so do you remember Balanced Rock?
I was in one of the places that we visited earlier today. but it's one of the spots that was on the posters and in lots of the ads.
I think so, or at least hearing about it.
There used to be another really famous rock right next to it. Smaller, but a similar shape and everything. They called it Chip Off the Old Block.
What do you mean, used to be?
I was getting to that. A long time ago, like 50 years or something, it fell. Now you can't even tell it apart from the rest of the rocks on the ground.
50 years. So that was...
Her eyes go wide in understanding, fact which I look away from Mariah's rear to take in.
So it was still standing when the miner came through.
Yeah, exactly. I'll bet you anything he hid the treasure between Balanced Rock and what used to be Chip.
I look over again to smile at her, only to see genuine admiration and awe in her face. Her eyes are wide and her mouth slightly open. Like always, I can't look at her for long, and it starts to make me uncomfortable. Nothing I've said or done is that impressive. Even Mariah knew about Chip. But instead of singing my praises again, she just faces ahead with a little smile. Then her face crumples up.
I see it.
A semi has been pulling out into the road ahead of us. There's no passing lane, so I can't get around him that way.
Damn it!
Tap the brakes since I'm going to have to stop and wait for him to get onto the highway. Ahead, I can still see Mariah, but just barely. Few of the cars between us has exited, but her lead has grown. And so I make a quick, reckless decision.
Hold on to something.
Oh no!
What are you?
I don't wait for her to finish the question, since she grabs onto her seat as she asks it. To answer, I yank the wheel to the left, and into the other lane, even though it's a no-pass zone. Headlights far ahead are speeding towards us, maybe a quarter mile away. That's not far! Getting closer. A concrete barrier prevents me from going any further to the left. Smash the gas pedal to the floor, putting all my weight on it. My brain begins to moan with dread at the oncoming car. It's a wordless sound, and maybe the sound of my name. My heart is in my throat, and I can feel beads of sweat on my forehead. One slides down between my eye, but I can't wipe it away. We're even with the semi now, who seems to be stopping. He probably knows me and is waiting for me to complete my illegal pass. Car ahead of us is close enough that I can see it in our headlight beams. It's a maroon SUV. They're braking as they approach. But I'm still accelerating, going so fast that I can't stop in time even if I wanted to. Like a missile, we shoot forward. I'm at least double the speed limit right now. We come even with the front of the semi, which is hardly rolling. The SUV has come to a complete stop, but there's barely any room between it and the semi now. Then suddenly we're past the cab of the truck. I wrench the wheel to the right, hard right, throwing us back into our own lane. We zoom past the stopped semi, who gives a well-deserved honk blaring. The bassy sound of the semi's horn also booms around us. But it doesn't matter, because we're okay. We didn't die. But that was insane. I need to breathe. Hits me, and I realize that I've been holding it in. I sigh, adrenaline still coursing through me.
Oh my god! Amber!
Her voice cracks. She starts to laugh hysterically. I do too, laughing away the anxiety of the last half minute. It felt like much longer. It's not entirely over yet. Ooh, well, this is kind of a cliffhanger. I'm gonna leave it here because I've been going long. But, yep, this is happening. With that, subscribe, come back, hang out, tell me your thoughts, because, oh my god, this is fascinating. Alright, come back to see who wins the race. I'm sure it's gonna be Mariah, and they're gonna have to split it, but whatevs. With that, I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye!